All right, troops, welcome to the Actually. My name is Owen. Welcome, G-Man, Charlie, Sean, and John. How are you?
What's
Hello.
happening?
So tonight we're going for some maximum Van Damage, and we're going to be talking about his feel-good comedy In Hell, which is a lovely movie, which we're going to get to in a minute. But before we get to that, I want to discuss some other Van Damage, my 4K, which just arrived today, of Time Cop. Now, you might be thinking, why are you talking about that? Well, Charlie mentioned earlier that there was this new 4K out, and there were no special features whatsoever. And it was so happens that Charlie is not a lying sack of shit and speaks the truth.
Go figure.
Not one special feature on this fucking 4K, which costs like $40. Not one.
Yep.
Oh.
It at least
Yep.
has subtitles, which is fine for me. But I'm like, I already had the Blu-ray, and I should have looked, but I was just like, it's Van Damme on 4K, I have to have it. But like, no special features at all. Like, you could have even had some archive, like even a trailer or something.
Talk about the comic. Talk about anything. Just anything Time Cop related. I've also been reading that we're not the only ones pissed about this.
Yeah.
Somebody even said that the actual like audio that they used for it is garbage. It sounds tinny. It's not like got the good, robust sounds. It doesn't sound good at all. It's like, why even bother with this?
Yeah. So yeah, I'm going to take a gigantic dump all over. I'm going to watch it after this. I watched the first few minutes over there. And I was like, I mean, it looks okay, but like I got shit little TV in here. It's not like a 4K TV or anything. I just watch
Right
in bed or whatever. But yeah, that's incredibly disappointing. Like, remember when they did was like Hard Target and Sudden Death? They had special features.
Yeah.
So, but that was Kino Lorber did that, wasn't it? And
that was
they
Kino
usually
Lorber, so they
Yeah.
Who did this one?
This is
Shout
Shout
Factory.
Factory.
Well, that's crazy though. They're like they always give tons of stuff. That's weird.
Yeah, nothing at all. Just really
anything.
half-assed. So
I mean, to
yeah,
not even have the theatrical trailer, like
Yeah.
you don't even get that on it.
Yeah.
What
4K
about interchangeable cover? Because one thing about Time Cop that I really loved, it actually had a lot of great taglines. One of them was "Turn back the clock in your history." The other tagline was "His wife died 10 years ago. There's still time to
Yeah,
save."
there's still time to save her. That's what's on this cover. Yeah, there's no interchangeable cover. This is like really half-assed, and probably the most disappointing Van Damme release yet. Because like Hard Target and Sudden Death were awesome in 4K.
Yes,
And then
those
special
are
features
crazy.
and everything, they're really worth getting. But this is one of his best movies as well. It's like this was probably his biggest box office hit, I think. So
Yeah, I think it was his biggest box office. So yeah,
That's crazy.
because I was like, I saw it pop up today, and I was like, oh, I can get, because Shout Factory's got a deal with Amazon. You can go on Amazon on their new releases. $40. I was like, okay, let me look. Nothing. Went on to the Dawn of the Discs and a couple other places. They were like, there's nothing on here. And then everybody just started dogpiling.
Yeah. Where the hell is Dawn of this Facebook page? Is it back yet?
It's not back. So, again, just rumors that something happened. They got banned off Facebook. They're active on Instagram. There's murmurs of multiple things. Like they share the two graphic of something, but then there was another one where they're sharing movies before the distributors are ready to announce it. And it's like, I don't know
that
what
shouldn't get you banned. Banned. That's true. I would believe more that it's showing something graphic because I think it was like zombie flesh eaters, and I thought, oh, that's going to get you banned.
Flesh eaters. Zombie flesh eaters was the beginning of the month, which is right around the time they got banned.
What's wrong with that?
Yeah, but I'm just sort of like we're fucking grown-ups. Like enough of this algorithm shit, like censoring everything. It's like
Instagram is meta. Instagram is fucking Facebook anyway. So what's the difference on one than the other?
No, I don't know. It's really annoying, but anyway, so don't waste your money on a Time Cop 4K. If you got it on Blu-ray or whatever, just keep it. I mean, it does at least have the Blu-ray version on it. But
okay,
if you've already got it, then why bother? It just seems like a waste of time. Anyway, on to feel-good comedy of the year, In Hell, starring Jean-Claude Van Damme. Yeah, I mean, I would say this is one of his better like straight-to-video movies. He did some interesting, really dark stuff. There's like In Hell, Until Death, and Wake of Death. Basically, it has Death the title. And these were like all kind of really dark, violent movies. This movie is rough as fuck. It's like I've only watched it like I think 2 or 3 times, but anytime I finish watching it, I'm always thinking,
oh, Billy.
Poor Billy.
Billy.
That's fucking
Billy.
wrong, dude.
Dude, this gets
Wrong.
fucking reamed for 90 minutes.
Oh my god.
Oh no, that first scene, I'm like, oh no. I'm like, that's not even the worst bit. It's the bit where he like bangs his head off the metal bit of the bed.
Yeah.
Yeah, past his face, and I'm like, oh Jesus. And like, I'm always sort of like, you don't want to hear this stuff. I'm like, you don't see it, but you just hear him screaming, and I'm like, yeah, that's all you need. So note to self, never go to jail.
Especially like a Russian one or whatever it was.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So actually, just Vinegar Syndrome would have done a great job of time.
Or Arrow does some really good.
Yeah,
releases.
Arrow's been killing it.
I've
too,
been happy with either one.
That's
Chopping mall.
Why would you shut your entire site down?
Yeah, I don't know.
One thing though, that's just that'd be weird.
I love Chopping Mall, and I have the soundtrack to it as well.
Classic.
Maroney. Oh yeah, man.
Did that one for my birthday. Killer robots, man. Where can you go wrong?
Yeah, exactly. Was it Rachel Vasilev who plays Andre, as in the main like rapey villain of this? He's actually like an underrated villain in a Van Damme movie because he's like the Antichrist in this. So, but boy, does he get what he deserves when Van Damme fucking chews his throat. He's like, Jesus. I mean, it's a good story in terms of you're watching someone totally lose their humanity, and you're watching him going from this like normal family man or whatever into this just like animal trying to survive in prison. And it's definitely, if I'm like, do I want to watch a Van Damme film? It's going to be like Double Impact, Lionheart, Hard Target, or something where you're like, hey, this is fun. But I'm just going to be like, oh, Billy, no. I'm just like, no, it's another movie that you enjoy watching because it's just relentlessly grim from beginning to end. Spoiler alert, at least it does have a happy ending, and he does sort of get away at the end.
A little bit.
So you're like, yay.
He wanted me to kiss him. He wanted me to kiss him. I didn't.
But yeah, I mean, just it's such an uncomfortable movie. But is it a good movie? Yes, it's well made. Van Damme is fantastic, and I think he's actually really good. I love his look whenever he's got the slicked back hair and the kind of sort of goatee thing. And I was like, fuck yeah, he looks awesome there. It's almost like Double Impact again, except more shower scenes. But yeah, it's a rough one. So actually, instead of going last, J-Man, you're gonna.
I like this movie. When I first saw it, I thought, yeah, it's pretty good. And then that, I didn't really watch it because, as you said, when we think about Van Damme, it's like I'll throw in any one of those that you just mentioned, or Time Cop even, or Bloodsport, or Kickbox, or Lionheart. I'm trying to think. Well, I think Double Impact and Hard Target are probably my two most watched, but like the other ones are all up there. Maybe Bloodsport's my most watched. Anyway, but so I hadn't seen it in a long time. 10 years ago, or maybe 11 years ago, when I first started my YouTube channel, I did a 30-minute video, and I reviewed every Van Damme movie that had been out up until that time. And I had them all on DVD, so I held each one up and reviewed it very quickly. And I hadn't seen it since then. So I watched it again last night. I really liked it. I actually think there is like a lot of hope in it. It was, I don't know. It was a lot better than I remember thinking. I was like, shit, this is really good. I don't know if it was just the time I was watching it or what, but I got really into it big time. And when he had that goatee, he looked badass.
Yeah, that's awesome.
What I like is that it's not conventional. It is cliched. It's all the cliches, but done in a kind of a neat way. And they prevent you from getting things that you kind of want. Like you're like, oh, it's going to become a prison fight movie now. And you keep hoping it's going to be something, and they kind of take it away from you. In a weird way, I felt like Van Damme, because I kept hoping like, oh, he's going to catch the guy that killed the wife, and then he's going to beat the shit out of him. And he kind of does, but no, not really. It's like, oh shit, he didn't get him. And then it's like, okay, well, he'll go to jail. It's like, no, he doesn't go to jail, right? It's like, okay. Now I knew that was going to happen because I saw the movie before, but I'm just saying, as a viewer watching it, you're and then you're pissed off because you're like, yeah, you know what? Screw this guy. And then he shoots him in the court, and you're like, yeah, but then no, because that's wrong. And then he goes to jail. You're like, fuck. And then you think, okay, he's going to be in jail, and okay, he's going to get pumped up, and he's going to like fight his way out, and he's going to escape. It's going to be awesome. It's like, not really. He wants to kill himself. You're like, okay. then when he sees the little whatever it is, dragonfly, I don't know what the hell that moth comes down, and he gets inspired, like, oh, okay. And then it starts to build up a little bit. And then the prison fight thing, you're like, oh, this is gonna okay. You're like, all right, this will be cool. Now it's gonna be just all these cool prison fights, and you're thinking all of these prison movies where and there's like, no, not really. And they're kind of ugly fights. They're not fun.
Yeah,
fights.
They're desperate fights. Yeah.
Yeah, they're not. Yeah. So I was like, okay, and it's like it keeps like building you up a little bit and taking it back down. And I actually liked that. And then there's only one thing at the very end where it's like, if LT buddy, if you could have gotten out any time like that, you should have probably done that a bit earlier. Like it's like Van Damme really didn't need to go through all this bullshit for you to just let him get out at that end, but he did have to, because that's the point of the movie. So I still ultimately really like this movie, and Van Damme is good in it. Mm-hmm. And that guy is a piece of crap. And when he rips his throat, I was like, yeah. I think the thing is like when the victories come, even though they're small. Hey, Brandon.
What's up, Brandon?
I think when the victories come, even though the victories are small victories in the big picture of the movie, you're still pumped up because you've gone through so much crap. And I feel in this one that I like Lock Up, obviously Death Warrant is friggin' awesome. Like I like all these movies, but I feel like this one is sort of I don't want to say realistic, like it's the more
it is the grittier version.
The grittier version of these movies where you're like, yeah, it wouldn't be as cool. Like, it's not like Undisputed where they're doing these cool fights. Like, oh shit, yeah, boom, boom, boom. And you're sitting at home going, bah, bah. And you watch the movie, you get all pumped up. Like, I'm going to go to take martial arts. You're like, I'm watching this. I'm like, man, this is fucking bullshit. Like, I don't want to go to jail and I don't want to be thrown into these fights. But when
I'm too pretty for jail.
For sure. When he's chained up and he's like refusing to fight and the other guys are getting pumped up, they're like, now why are we fighting? This is stupid. Like, well, what is this shit? And then they're like, yeah, fuck it. We're not going to fucking fight. I was so pumped. I'm like, this is awesome. I think it's like a legit good movie. Ringo Lam is a great director anyways. All three of his the Van Damme trilogy, the Ringo trilogy or whatever, they're all good because Maximum Risk is freaking awesome. We should do that for Is It Underrated, because no one talks about it.
Yeah, we'll do that soon. Yeah,
that's a kick-ass movie. But Replicant is cool too. I wouldn't mind rewatching that again either. Mm-hmm. I really like this a lot more than I remember liking it. I think when I first saw it, I was like in the Owen, like what you're saying, in the state of mind of like, yeah, sudden death, baby, woo. And then it's like Time Cop, fucking yeah. And it's like in hell, you're like, whoa, what is this? This like, oh. And then I literally thought, oh, this is gonna be a big prison fight, and he's gonna do the big super kicks. And I was like, no, he just gets beat up and tears guys apart, and he kind of barely wins. And you're like, oh, this isn't that fun. And then you're like, this wasn't that fun, but actually I think there was more to it. So I think it's a good movie for Van Damme, and he performed well in it. And yeah, like kudos. I'm really glad. I kind of was like, oh, we're doing In Hell. I was like, I wasn't as excited as I was for next week when you're saying we're doing Cobra. This week I was like, I'll watch it. I'm going to come on the stream and give my 2 cents and whatever. But then I was like, wow, I really like this a lot. I don't know what the hell happened. I'd probably give it like an 8 out of 10 or something. Like, I don't know. I got really into it. There you go.
Yeah, I mean, me, I probably maybe 7. It just takes a point off just in memory of poor Billy.
Listen, that kid shit. Well, you got to do what you got to do. It. He didn't do it, so that's what happens. You got to.
You're in prison.
Anyway, I thought it was a very good. Like it's a quality movie.
Oh, it is.
I read some reviews. Oh, it's a cliche. Well, it's in prison. Like, what do you want to happen?
How much can you do? Yeah.
How much can you do, Charlie?
I think that's an unfair criticism.
I think so too.
Cliched. I thought it was really good, and I thought it really tested Van Damme as an actor. And I think
so
of the main action stars, I think he's actually one of the better actors, because like
for sure,
like he's great looking whenever he's like in torment. And in this movie, he really goes through the whole range of emotions you get to see him go through. Now, what's interesting, I have the 88 Films Blu-ray of this movie, and it's got all kinds of like behind the scenes things. The only thing which annoys me is that 88 Films is all UK and it's region locked. And I'm like, fuck off with region lock. That's so dated. So, but the thing is,
that's so 95 or whatever.
Yeah, but I don't have my multi-region Blu-ray player anymore, so I can't watch any of them. I'm like, well, shit, and it's kind of hard to get a multi-region Blu-ray player that's less than like $200 or $300 now.
Right.
Yeah.
But anyway, there's special features here, and you got an interview with the dude who plays Billy, and he actually looks like traumatized from the film, and it sounded like Ringo Lam was an absolute nightmare to work for, though. Like it was really tough to work for, and everyone was like pushed to their absolute limits, and they almost just felt like it was like they were really in hell. So ideally, like these movies, there's all the like straight to video movies, like even Seagal's and everything. Like I would love to see them get proper releases, like like 4K or whatever else, like do a set of them. And that's one thing where I would like to see them with like the special features, obviously on like Time Cop. You just know that in about 6 to 8 months, somebody else is going to announce Time Cop, and they're going to have all the special features, and I'm going to be like, fuck.
Yeah,
but
they should. I mean, like something like Ringo Lam. These Asian directors, I'm not saying it like in a bad way.
No,
they're hardcore. Like they get shit done. It's a whole different mentality when you step into the U.S. and you're making a movie, and if he's using his old school techniques of get it done, go, boom, boom. You took a few hits. Okay, take 2. Take some more hits. Whoa,
take real hits. Yeah,
take hits. These guys are kick-ass. Jackie Chan has said this many times in interviews. It's like, yeah, I go to Hong Kong. I'm filming a shit ton of movies and doing a shit ton of stuff. I'm like tired. I'm exhausted every day. Then I come here and it's like 400 takes, and it's not 400 takes. It's like an hour to do two kicks. Okay, guys, we got 2 kicks filmed. That's pretty good for today. Let's take a break. Like, huh? Like. This like fight scene. Oh, was that a good fight scene? Good. Now we move on to the next fight scene. It's like, I just did a fight scene. Well, you're doing another one. It's a fight movie, right? Remember? So different mentality.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I always like talking to people who've like worked in both industries, like working in Hollywood and like working in like Hong Kong cinema or whatever. And I always say that like Hong Kong is like far more brutal and intense, but they think it's an interesting thing, and they're super professional and everything else. But your action scenes are like legit. And that's why they're so good. But anyway, so Sean, in Hell.
Basically this is like a Van Damme-ized version of Midnight Express. And
the
thing is, I never liked Midnight Express. I hate that movie. The guy in it, if you don't remember Midnight Express, there's a highly acclaimed movie for some reason where a college student in Turkey straps a bunch of hashish to himself and tries to smuggle it, and then gets caught. And I always thought, well, good. And every time something happened to him, I'm like, good for you.
What?
After to find out.
Oh, yeah. You can rewatch that, buddy.
Damn.
So to me, this is an improvement because they make Van Damme sympathetic, right? It's like, well, what would you do, right? Of course, he's going to shoot that guy, but he does it in a courthouse. So
wrong place.
And plus they squeeze in fights to make it more Van Damme-y. It's like he's in pit fights and stuff. I think that's where this movie gets the realism and stuff from, the grittiness. I think they're really. I mean, the way he escapes is kind of the way it's done in Midnight Express as well. Like he's disguised and all that stuff, right? So, because it uses that template. I think the idea was to make something different than a regular Van Damme. That's what you're saying, J-Man's like, sudden death and all that, It's like, make something new, put Van Damme in a new situation and grow him as an actor. Like, I mean, he always had these skills, but he never had an opportunity to show them, right? It's underrated in that sense. Whenever people harp on action heroes and stuff not being good actors, I think Van Damme always broke that mold. I mean, JCVD alone, right?
Yeah, that's awesome.
Was great. When he does that monologue, that was awesome. So, and I think too, like Van Damme has the most varied and interesting body of work. From all those like classic action stars. Schwarzenegger's the typical Schwarzenegger movie, right? And then you got Van Damme and all that. So this is pretty cool. I wouldn't watch it all the time. And to me, it's a better movie than Midnight Express, but that's just me. I know it's a highly acclaimed picture.
I agree with that statement, but Sean, we're gonna do Midnight Express, Logan's Run, and then I need a third one. We're gonna do the trilogy, the Sean trilogy. Of the super awesome movies that this guy doesn't like for random unknown reasons.
I'll find another one.
Find another one and message me privately, and we'll do it.
It's pretty cool. I'd recommend it to people who don't like action movies, for example. I mean, you'd probably enjoy this as like as you said, Owen. It has an arc of like he becomes an animal and then he fights his way to become human again, right? Like he stops fighting and everything. So it's pretty neat.
Yeah. Just continuing your point you made a second ago, Sean, where Van Damme is different from the other action stars. Now, I probably mentioned this before on other streams. I don't remember what I had for breakfast this morning, so it's middle age. But the thing is about Van Damme is that he rarely played like an invincible badass. His characters are like always vulnerable in some way. You'll see him, he loses a lot throughout his movies or whatever, and then wins at the end or whatever. And that's always something cool about him, and why he's always been like my favorite action star, because he's always basically human for the most part. Whereas he's rarely shooting like a million guys without a scratch or whatever, apart from maybe like Hard Target. But
I was just thinking Hard Target's the closest.
Yeah, Hard Target's as closest to like a Rambo type movie. But,
exactly.
He's got blood going down his shoulder.
Yeah,
a little bit of blood. It's okay.
Yeah,
I mean, Hard Target's a masterpiece of cinema. So
whatever
happened in that movie is beautiful.
It's a documentary. It all happened.
It happened. It is a documentary. There's a special feature on a little known Argentinian release where they admit that it's all a documentary.
Yeah. Only me and J-Man have it. Nobody else.
Only we have
it. Charlie.
First time watch for me, guys.
Oh yeah, you said that.
I love first time watches. Go on.
Hold on. Can we do Charlie? So I'm sorry. Can I Kabosh? Can we do him last? Because I really like to hear what he says.
Okay,
after.
go ahead. No.
Fine. That's cool.
I'd forgotten that. I'm really interested in first time watch because that's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, John.
Okay. So like, do you like? I remember, and I'm just a quick story before, like, because all of Van Damme's movies were coming to theaters. I remember going into, like, I don't know, like in America we had Suncoast, the motion picture company, and like, I remember going in there and I saw Van Damme's The Order, and I'm like, why is this here? Why am I holding this in my hand? And I didn't see it in the theater first. And that was, I think, one of his first movies that went the straight to video route.
Like Legionnaire, Desert Heat.
Yeah. That had an official.
Those early ones.
Yeah. And I was like, I got mad, So like, and then of course In Hell came out, and I felt suckered at first. Okay. So like when I first watched, like, Van Damme and Ringo Lam, we all know Ringo Lam and how bombastic he was in Hong Kong action cinema. He's compared to John Woo, you know, and everything. So like going into this movie, I was expecting something else. And the first time I watched it, I was mad when it ended. I was like, what the fuck did I just watch? Like what? Like, it was depressing. It was sad. It was mean. It was ugly. It was dirty. And like the fight, I'm like, where's the jump spinning hook kick, and everything. So I got mad, but as I've seen it probably like 5 or 6 times now, and like, including yesterday, I like it more and more, and I'm starting to really love this movie, like, just for all the points. It's a good movie, and I love the fact that Ringo Lam, of course, how hard of a filmmaker was he that everybody hated him, that we'll never know, aside from what people say in interviews and stuff like that. But they did something totally different, because if you remember, this movie came out, and then Undisputed 2 came out like 3 years later, and they did kind of the same thing, but they're like, okay, let's take that and like totally do the insane extreme action thing with Scott Adkins and Michael J. White and everything jumping all. Like, this is in a Russian prison too, but it's like the total opposite of this movie. But, and this is, of course, I love that for different reasons. But as I watch this movie, and I love the fight scenes, I love the barbaric, savage nature of just trying to survive. And there's actually a lot of good combat choreography in this movie. Like, if you watch these fights, it's harder to do that type of stuff than it is like standing 5 feet apart and whizzing kicks past each other's faces and stuff.
Yeah,
like
I
that.
agree with you.
It's like MMA, before MMA was really hot. And so, like, I guess, that's like grown my love for this movie too. But Van Damme really, like his accent, I think, overshadows his acting, and it's a shame. It's like, yeah, he has an accent. Okay, he's from another country. It's like, we all have accents. If you listen to me, he'd be like, you have an accent too. And I'm like, yeah, I understand. I'm from Northeast Ohio, but he does such a great job. And like, he acts so much with his physicality and his face. And listen, like, if somebody did that to your wife, and I always thought, like, what would happen, like, it was the stand your ground role where the guy was in his house and he fucked them up, because it would have been a totally different story. But the guy got away and he chased them down, and they're on the subway, or not a subway. What was that? The bus. The bus, yes. And like, and then he shoots him, and like Sean said, he shot him in the car. Probably not the best thing. You can't probably waited until he like was at home or something, and then like followed him home and like instigated a plan. But again, he was grieving.
In a short movie.
Yes. Right.
No, but his character's like that. You could see the second his wife didn't answer, what's going on? Boom. And like
that's the beginning of his descent already. Yeah.
That's no, you're right. That's important. Yeah.
Yep. And then the evolution of his character. And then Lawrence Taylor is badass too. Like his character, it's like you don't know what to think of this guy at first.
Yes.
It's like he's like it's like, whoa. And then he's like ripping the guy's tooth out at the beginning. And I was like, is this guy crazy? Is he going to help Van Damme? And of course, he helps Van Damme. He has his own reasons for doing what he does. He's got all the information and stuff like that. He wants Van Damme to go because he's like, I need to be in here, which is kind of cool. Like he accepts the fact that this is where I belong and all that good stuff. But but like as I watch him more in Ring of Lamb, like I applaud them and commend them for doing this type of movie. And it's like where I was mad at first because I was expecting one thing. Now throughout the years, I've grown to love this movie a little bit more. Do I watch it as much as Hard Target? Hell no. It's like I probably haven't seen this movie in years before we're like, oh yeah, we're doing it. Hell, I'm like, okay, let me dig it out. And of course I had to go into my collection. I'm like, all right, which one is it? Oh, there it is. It's okay. I got
is your Van Damme collection not in order by release date like mine? It's like, come on, you got.
Since I moved for the third time since I've been in Florida, no, it's not. It's not enough. I am yet to get it there.
Organize your JCVDs. That's your top.
Nothing else.
I will take a picture. Once I do it, I will send you a photo. I'll be like, here you go. But going back to the film, and then you got Billy Cooper, who you all know what's happening with that guy in the movie. Like there's no foreshadowing there. It's like we all know this. Yeah, but there's always that character in these types of movies, and it's like he's trying to help him out and this and that, and he's good looking, so of course all the guys in there are like, yeah, we love you. It's like, and it's just unfortunate. It's like I'm glad I'm not good looking.
See, that's why I don't want to be in prison. It's like I'll be a blow up doll.
Yeah, exactly. So like watching it yesterday, I was like, damn, Van Damme. I was like, you did it. Like he did a great, like again, minus the accent, he acts his ass off. And then if you ever seen JCVD, holy cow, it's like, where did that performance come from and everything? And of course, he's had a lot of shit go on in his life where he's kind of like, he's been through a lot. So again, that transcends on film as well. But yeah, like where I probably would give this movie a 2-star review when I first watched it, I do out of 5. I'm a solid 4 now with this movie. And because I never really knew what to think about it when I was watching it throughout the years. But like the last couple of times, I'm like, this is a damn good movie. And it's like, if you know what to expect now, like when I tell people like, hey, don't expect Hard Target or Lionheart or all the but if you watch this movie, and there's a lot of good action in this movie. Like there's that one stretch where he's going through all these guys and he's then they're doing the fighting montage. There is the fighting montage thing. It's just not glamorized like an Iraqi movie or anything. Right. But there's a lot of good choreography. There's a lot of good action. It's depressing as hell. Don't watch it if you're in a really really down mood because it won't make it better. But
like at least I'm not Billy. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Be like, hey,
no, I think it is inspirational. That's what
it is. Yeah.
It really worked for me big time last night when I'm sitting here like, wow, this is really cool. Like when he's chained up and they're like, I don't want to fight. He broke through to those men that were so hard. They're hardened and they're evil. They're scumbags.
He brought the prison together. Yeah. Where they were all in their factions and everything.
Yes.
But his defiance and then Robert Lazardo, the guy with all the tattoos, I love that guy. That guy's the best actor. He always plays these tough guy roles. Yeah. He got a raw deal in this movie, but that's besides the point. But he brings them all together and that's why they're like, we should kill him. He's like, no, don't kill him. You'll make him a martyr. Because even they knew we can't kill this guy. No, if anything, we have to drag him out to the wherever they took those guys and buried them in the ditches and stuff like that.
It's so cold,
so good. Yeah. Again, but is it underrated? Hell yes. This is one of his most underrated movies
for sure.
1 or 2 up there for me. So yeah, so Charlie, up to you. First time watch, let's have it.
I think it's one of the most underrated Van Damme movies. Same with other well, we'll definitely do Maximum and Rep. We'll talk about all these movies at some point over the weeks and months spread out. But,
and Until Death is awesome too, and it has a lot of good.
Yeah,
that's good too. Yeah,
that's not a good one. Yeah, we'll go over them all. Plenty of time, Charlie.
Okay, like I said, first time watch for me. This was that moment where they started all going straight to video. I think I had rented like Legionnaire, like we talked about, and The Order, and I was just kind of like, this ain't the same Van Damme for me. And I just kind of ignored his straight to video movies. Maximum Risk got through to me somehow. I don't know how, but I think I got it in a collection and I watched it and fucking
that came
That came out in theater though. Yeah,
Yeah,
That was
the
the
theater.
actual, yeah, that was one of them.
Yeah, I saw it in the
was
theater
early.
twice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so did I. Yeah.
Did Desert Heat come out in theater too? Or did
No.
Some people claim that they got it in small little pockets, but that for sure didn't.
In the UK, it went on to Sky. It was a Sky exclusive movie.
Okay.
It's called Inferno.
Inferno,
There,
yeah.
Desert
yeah.
Heat. And then it's also called Coyote Moon, which is my favorite.
It's
title for
awkward.
it.
It's like one of those awkward movies too. Like
Yeah.
you're not quite sure about it.
But one of the best music scores of all time. The music is fucking fantastic.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, Charlie. Continue.
Yep.
No, you're fine. You're fine. So yeah, I had no idea what I was in for. I started out thinking, cool, he's gonna get framed for his wife's murder immediately. Whenever I saw that happening, I was like, somebody wants him in this prison because I read on the thing that there's a fight club. So I was immediately going like Death Race. J-Man brought up Lockup, which when you said that, I was also like, Lockup's really not an action movie either. It's more of a prison drama with Stallone. Like it's got a couple of fist fights in it, but it's not, fights galore like Death Warrant is or anything like that. So I was trying to figure this movie out. And then I realized, okay, this is not a Van Damme jump spin kick. He's gonna do splits and show his ass every chance he gets in this one.
Right.
I get a massive scene of about 27 dongs. I was like, okay, give me Van Damme's ass again. I didn't need to see that.
Yeah.
But once I switched my brain and went, this is a prison drama with some gritty, brutal fights, I started to get into it. This movie is depressing as hell. I had to watch cartoons when I got done. I needed something because I was just like, fuck, I feel so bad. The Billy thing, I know we're joking about it. That was just horrible.
Awful.
It was. It's like Shawshank. Well, the sisters got a hold of him later, and it's just no. I don't need to be reminded of all these like gang rape scenes.
No. It's the worst possible thing to see in a movie.
It is, but I did like the journey with Van Damme. I like the story. I like how he kind of let himself go. He turns feral. He literally turns feral in that fight when he rips that dude's throat out. I noticed something though, and you guys have seen this way more than me. When he accepted who he was, I was going, he looks just like the guy that murdered his wife. Like he literally became the villain.
Yeah.
Basically, he has the widow's peak, the goatee. I was immediately like, okay, they're telling us he's transforming into something he probably shouldn't be, but he's let himself go. So he's now a bad guy, kind of. And then that's why he like changes his entire face look whenever he finally refuses to fight. That's a giant motherfucker, though. I don't think I'd have fought him either. I didn't. He looks like what was that guy's name? Nathan Jones.
Yeah,
it wasn't him, but he was like just as big as that motherfucker. I was like,
Michael
Christ.
Bailey Smith. Yeah, then that guy shows up. Like after he kills the one guy, then the other guy shows up and wanting Billy Cooper. It's like, wow, you can't win, dude.
You're not gonna win. That was, and there's also there's guys there that want to do that. Why pick on Billy? You know what I mean? Like we don't need to mess with Billy anymore. And I seeing them just digging holes and burying them. God, dude, that was dark. That was just like, I am depressed as shit. This sucks. I don't know how to feel. Van Damme literally being put in the hole, and there's like a river of shit flying, going down the wall and underneath him, and he tries to kill himself. Like I was just, that scene hit me, and I was just like, yeah, this is not at all what I was expecting. This circumvented everything I thought, and even when I thought we were going to get badass Van Damme fights, I still don't. Even the final fight, which I don't know if I agree with. I think there could have been a better way. I think they should have left him as being the martyr and not do an LT's plan of, well, my plan means you have to fight. And I'm like, well, that just disregards everything he's done for however long he's been in prison now, months, years, if not, there's no time passage in this movie other than facial hair. I liked LT. He was an interesting character. He rips that one dude's tongue out because he talks too much. So I liked that. That was.
We've all wanted to do that.
Well, 100%. But I also like that it sets up what he does at the end to the warden. Rips out his tongue. But you're a little off kilter with him. You don't know what he's going to do to Van Damme. They don't really become buddy buddies. They're both a means to the end at the end of it. I loved when that motherfucker in the wheelchair got his comeuppance.
Oh yeah,
for what he did to Billy. I was like, when LT stands over him with that fucking, I'm guessing it was like paint thinner or something, because he does all his writings and probably drawings, and he's like, nah, it's for you, and dumps it on. I'm like, this is what I want. This movie does really good with the comeuppance. The one guard, the main guard, gets his comeuppance with Van Damme that took his ring, drops that fucking car on his legs. It was great. The warden gets his comeuppance at the end from LT. All the bad guys that you hate. I wish he'd have killed the big dude whenever he rammed his head, and he's like, this is for Billy. Cracked his head into the pole. I kind of wanted that guy not to get back up.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And
I like the twist with the Psycho. I think it's a little odd they made a bond over banging on the wall, because Van Damme was only doing that being like, shut the fuck up, quit making noise.
It saved him though, because
it saved him. It's kind of like the music box and the whistle in Thunderdome, you just got to get them off kilter a little bit. But I had fun with it. I like that guy jumped in the way of the bullets. I was like, okay, it's kind of like a nice heroic moment, the chaos of everything. I think I would be praying with Owen, like maybe a 7 after some more watches. But this is definitely one that I was like, I don't know when I'm going to want to watch this again.
Yeah.
This is not a background movie. This is not like, hey guys, let's all get together and watch action movies in hell. And
like, this is a fetal position movie.
So just do blood sport, hard target in hell, and then that's a perfect
in that order. In hell.
One end of the spectrum, the other end of the spectrum. Be like, here you go.
But just lie to your friends. Just say, don't worry, guys. There's like the last half an hour is massive action. It's crazy, and then it's like.
Or what you do is you do Temple of Doom first. Prepare to meet Kali in hell. Cuts to in hell.
Boom, there it is. But no, I like Van Damme's acting in this. I think everyone's correct with that. This actually showed some pretty decent range for him when finally a director was willing to take the time to let him do it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure everyone else is just like, kick. Now say a line. Now kick. That do the Van Damme shit. This one it felt like he was in it. You know what I mean? Like he really enjoyed flexing muscles that other than his arms and his legs, flexing his acting muscles. I liked it. A little bit of a in your face stretch with the wife reappearing later as the apparition. And I was like, okay, the moth was enough. I didn't need her to actually show up and talk to him in this movie, but I can forgive it. There's a lot now that I know what I'm in for. If I watch it again, I'll be better set up for. But I didn't hate it. I do think this is underrated. I've ignored it for however long it's been out. So that goes a long way to say. And Tubi, can we get the English one instead of just the French version?
I know, right? I looked at it. It's like, why is this only in Spanish?
Yeah. Like J-Man, I got it out of the library. Don't worry. But I was also, because I was like, where's this streaming? And I was like, Tubi. Oh, fuck yeah. I'll just go on Tubi, click on it. Like, no.
When the title comes on, it says it in Spanish. It's like, what?
Yeah. And it's like called Inferno. Like it doesn't even say in hell on it.
It's like in El Inferno or something.
El
Inferno.
In El Inferno.
But I had a good time with it. Not enjoyment good.
No, I know what you mean.
Take that back. Not fun good time, but it was a good movie.
Yeah. It's like Schindler's List kind of watching. Like, this is a great movie, but
Daniel, I think I definitely think this is one you
give it a watch and then leave a comment on the stream after you watch it and let us know what you think of it, because I'd be interested to see.
Daniel did watch Abraxas though, so we got someone to watch Abraxas after last week.
Well, give us a second chance, Daniel. Give us a second chance.
We didn't say it was good,
right? We ripped that apart, didn't we? It's like...
We like Sven.
I want to mention something about the banging on the wall thing. What I like about Van Damme in this movie is that even though he's becoming, like, as we watch his journey, he becomes super feral, then he becomes the villain, as you pointed out. But throughout his journey, he turns people good through his nature. And as it progresses, when the crazy guy came out, you knew as a viewer, you're like, oh, he'll hit the wall or something, because that'll signal that that's me.
It was
right,
foreshadowed so hard that's what
yeah. But it's cool because it's like, oh, that'll calm him down. See, no one's ever tried to communicate, even though Van Damme was communicating in the sense of, okay, stop pounding. But I got the sense that as he stayed longer in there, it wasn't so much about keeping him quiet. It was more about, like, there's a bond with someone else who's in here with me. And when he hit it, that bond was solidified, and the guy's like, oh, it's this guy. That was awesome. And I found his death pretty sad, that crazy guy. And yeah, that was like, and the wheelchair guy, again, the cliche is that there's always a guy that, who can help, and he's like, and it's like, oh, he's a wheelchair guy, but he's got a heart of gold. No, he doesn't. He's like, look, I'm in it for me, and the one guy that Van Damme couldn't affect and make good gets killed by by LT or whatever. So LT becomes the guy, and even LT, when we don't know what he's going to be like, it's like, oh, is he like some crazy guy who just kills anybody in his cell? Because that's what they want. They're like, throw him in with him. And he goes to the restroom and he turns the light. Like, as soon as he blew the candles out, you're like, okay, he's giving him some privacy. He's kind of like, it's like, okay, so he's not going to be this crazy guy. The movie gives you lots of cues. This is a visual movie as much as it is like a dialogue movie. You have to pay attention to things that are going on. Like, okay, hitting the wall, putting the candles out, like just even like little things of them doing things. And like, even when they're having the party, I love that the warden has this, like, his family, or what the hell is it?
There's kids up there watching.
The kids up there, you're like, this is he doesn't say, here's my kids, and it doesn't show the kids are dicks. It just shows kids having fun. You're like, it's just a visual cue to say, you know what? This guy treats these people like pieces of garbage. He doesn't care at all. The real villain is that guy, the guy who's running hell. He's the villain of this movie. And yes, those other people, the inmates, are evil. And like you're saying, oh, I wish that guy would get killed because of what he did. Yeah, but that guy was created. Now he did something wrong to get in jail. Maybe it was something minor. Probably not. He probably murdered people.
Probably did something pretty bad. Although Billy was there for next to nothing.
For next to nothing.
Yeah, so it was really weird.
That's the Midnight Express thing. Yeah. So the Midnight Express thing is the guy had drugs, but realistically, the punishment is you go to jail for drugs, but really not this type of punishment. Like, this is really extreme. Like, this is like law-abiding citizen for a guy who just had drugs. So this Billy kid, it's like he didn't do anything that this was that bad to deserve to get this punishment. So it's like, that is the hell, and this guy's the master of it. And Van Damme is like the savior, sort of. Like, I don't want to say it's Jesus or whatever, but it's sort of like that. Like, he unites everybody against him. It's actually a really pretty damn good movie. I don't know. Yeah. I when I first watched it, I didn't hate it, because I watched it, I thought, okay, I wasn't, I don't get, again, I'm like a sad or anything. I'm like, okay, whatever. It's, I just thought, Van Damme's not cool enough in this movie. I'm just going to go back to sudden death and whatever. But then you watch, it's like, well, I didn't realize that Van Damme and Ringo were trying to do something a little bit more than just provide action and thrills. They're like, we do have some points to make and some depth, some extra depth.
They get cerebral with it, and I think that's my biggest complaint. And you brought it up perfectly. Is Van Damme is a vessel of change, so to speak. So everything he does sends ripples through the prison. By making him fight, though, at the end,
I know
that final, like, what, I don't want to say legacy, but it kind of hurts everything he did up into that. And I feel like that was just it's an action movie, guys. We need another fight at the end. We need a reason to get him for them to take him out of there. I'm like, if it's the only spot that felt tacked on, because I am in this journey with him. And you're right. He changes the most feral creature, goddamn juggernaut hiding in the dungeon. And he changes that guy. And just from never even meeting him other than sound. I did like that they wheeled that giant fucking cart of beautiful food going straight. Like even Van Damme's like, the fuck is that? Like,
who they feeding in there? It's Jabba the Hutt or something. So Charlie, since I watched this movie, I wrote Final Fight in my notes. I wrote it down here again on my pad here. And since you mentioned it, I've been thinking about it from last night and now while you were talking. I think I did feel it was felt tacked on, but I don't feel that anymore. The reason is that I think that these people had to then realize in themselves, because he's going to escape. So if he goes away, are they going to go back to their old ways? And I think that they had to lose their savior in order for them to then take it on themselves and be like, this guy helped me get to the realization that I don't have to play along. But now that he's gone, I need to keep that for myself as well, because I've changed now. So it doesn't matter that he fights at that point. If they would have killed him during the entire locking himself up, that a crucifixion, right? During the if they killed him during
martyrism, right?
That would have been the martyrism. But in here, it serves two purposes. First, he does have to escape, and he does have to clean up the prison by giving the information. So that's a story element, but also as the metaphorical element or whatever, it's like those guys do have to come to the realization that, okay, yes, he got them to stop doing this, but now they have to want to stop on their own. Will they all stop? Maybe they won't all stop. I don't know. But it's not like Van Damme could have stayed there forever anyways.
They do, like, they drop that whenever, the movie ends. The prison was shut down 3 months later.
Yeah. So that's movie. Look, it's a movie. So, I'm not gonna.
That's the yay we won moment at the end of the movie. Yeah.
Well, realistic. So cynical J-Man would be like, well, okay, that's that prison, but there's a million other prisons. They're probably doing the same shit. But the point of the movie is still for Van Damme to have his closure and for the prisoners to somewhat be saved. So those guys just went to another prison. Who's to say that prison was better or worse? I don't know.
And maybe they're the change that prison needs. I mean, there's 1,000 ways you could take that.
Dude, that's exactly what I was just got to freaking say. It's like, if they go to other prisons, now they're going to be the Van Dammes. It's like he changed the entire, it's a bit hokey, I guess, if we're getting into this, reading too much into it, but like,
have fun with it.
It really spread it, right? Because now they're going to be like, yeah, I'm not going to do it either. And it spreads it out even more. So if they do go to other prisons that are just as bad, Hell Part 2, they can be the Van Damme characters. I don't know. I think it's pretty damn good. Like it's a good movie.
This is a deeper movie than anyone ever expected it to be. I mean, I
for sure. I thought it was going to be. I was like, "Fuck, I gotta watch that tonight." I'm like, I guess I'll watch it, because I remember seeing it, thinking, "Yeah, it was okay. It's kind of long." I felt like not much was going on. I'd have zero sympathy for anything, so I was like, whatever." But then I was watching it, I was like, "Holy shit, this is so good!" And I was like, I watched the whole thing through, and I was like, "God damn, that was really good." I'm like, I might watch some of that again. And then I'm like, it's like midnight. I was like, okay, I got to go to bed. And then I started writing as many notes down as I could. I like this movie. I thought it was damn good.
Fun fact, one thing real quick, David Leitch was the song coordinator on it.
I saw that, yeah.
Really? Okay.
Oh, there's a behind the scenes.
Yeah, that's probably on the 88 Films one. That's probably what I'm talking about, where you see like Ringo Lam being a hard taskmaster.
So YouTube has better special features than Time Cop 4K.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, for those who weren't watching at the beginning, fuck this 4K. By the way, no special features, nothing at all.
Not for 40. If it goes on sale for 15,
$40,
maybe.
Yeah,
it didn't cost me anything. I used a gift card, so I didn't pay. I paid for it, so that was fine.
Right. I mean, if I had that,
but still, like a fucking trailer would have been nice. Anyway.
Anything.
No. But if it's a $10 disc, then you say, look, it's a $10 movie. I just want the movie in 4K. That's fine. When you're charging premium price. So Charlie, whatever you order, Owen, me, like us three, the Canadian corner here has to pay double. Yeah. It's basically double with shipping and conversion. Yeah. We pay double what you're paying. So you just say, I ordered it for $35, guys. Yeah, that's $70 for us. And that's if Cobra. You pray to God that it doesn't get caught for duty, because our Canada Post can go on strike because they don't want to do anything. But they're sure as hell there to collect their little duty fees. That's a no problem. They're definitely not on strike for that. But anyway, sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Random.
Other thing I wish this movie had done a little bit better, and they kept playing a song as their music break, and nothing changed. It was like kind of bland music throughout this, and all of a sudden there'd be like this little bit of a higher, faster pep song, and then that would go away. It'd go back to the drama.
That was weird.
That faster pep song would come back. I'm like, I need a score, guys. Just
Yeah.
a little bit of
I agree.
effort off the music.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I go through some of his comments. Can a Van Damme movie be good without a final fight? No. You need to...
It has a final fight. There's a final fight.
Well, I'm saying it felt
it's kind of an
on.
afterthought.
That's why.
But...
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Like about not just action right? Yeah. Oh, no. It's actually one of Van Damme's most dramatic and emotional movies because I found I genuinely cared and I was involved in the story and I was like, "Fuck, I hope he gets out here." And,
yes.
What else? You're absolutely rooting for him.
For sure, 100%.
I'm rooting for Billy. I don't want
I like Billy
to happen.
When Billy starts running, I was like, "Run, Billy, run! Like
run, bitch, run!"
You're not gonna make it, buddy. You're not gonna make it.
I didn't even
not
like
even
the
close.
other dude
Not
died. Like he was somewhat cool, but the tattooed guy where they shot him in the back, I was like, "Fuck."
Yeah.
Although, if you took Billy's run from the prison guards and added the Benny Hill music, it would fit because he's running through the swamp, and all of a sudden there's dogs and a helicopter, but the chase keeps going to another area. I'm like, that fucker's fast. Billy fast as fuck, boys. You ain't catching him.
Didn't help.
It did not help. Thanks, John. Thanks for reminding me. It did not help.
Wick is Pain. It's sort of like a behind the scenes thing of John Wick. I posted the trailer earlier, and it's kind of cool because it's how the film almost didn't happen. It's like all these production issues they had where they had to get like $6 million together, otherwise the thing was going to get canceled.
From Ava Longoria.
I was going to say Ava Longoria put the money up for it. I'm like, that's insane.
Without Ava, there's no John Wick.
Yep, and she only did it for this one. She didn't hold on to a little bit for the other movies. Yeah, and she regrets that.
Oh, big.
Right. I watched Havoc. We need to do a stream on Havoc at some point. I feel like we need to talk about that. It's kind of one of the big action movies this year. I thought it was good. I wanted to love it, but I didn't. The first 50 minutes, there's not much action. The opening scene chase is fucking terrible. Looks like a video game. It's just really weird looking. I mean, it was okay. It kind of sort of took place in this like hyper reality place. Almost just felt like Gotham City or something. It felt like a comic book world. So I suppose that explains the weird visuals, but it's kind of just not what I was expecting. And then from the 50-minute mark, from the nightclub scene onwards, then the film is awesome. And that's really whenever it picks up, and you got some the cabin bit at the end is sort of pure John Wick. You got some double gunplay and some slow motion and stuff like that, and it's really cool. I mean, I liked it, but personally, I preferred The Accountant too. That's the best action movie I've seen this year.
I can't wait to watch that.
I was not expecting that because the first movie I was like, yeah, that was good, but this one like surpasses the first movie in like every way.
I wasn't expecting to like the first one. I watched it on a whim one day going, oh, what the hell is this? And I watched it going, fuck, this was good. Yeah. Like really good.
Yeah. Does he use a lot of formulas in his Excel spreadsheet to like calculate everything, or
he does?
He's an actual accountant.
Oh, is he actually an accountant?
Yeah, yes, it is. Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. I never saw it. I'll watch it.
One scene is he's taking all of the glass walls in this office and he's figuring out the problem, and it's nothing but like numbers. And all this shit going through.
It's apparently one of the best depictions of autism put on screen.
Yes.
Oh my god. I'm gonna watch Accountant Part 1. That's Part 1 we're talking about.
Yeah. Part 1 is that, and then Part 2 is like a buddy comedy with John Bernthal. It's fucking great.
And then the ending. Oh my god, it's this tactical awesomeness.
Is John Bernthal in Part 1?
Yes.
Yeah. But not as much. His character is kind of more.
Yeah. Don't say anything because you might not know about it.
Don't spoil it.
You gotta watch it. It's on Prime.
I borrowed it from the library when the library first got it, so I still have it.
I went to see it by myself because all my friends are losers and didn't want to go see it with me, but that's okay.
I live so far away.
I know.
Charlie, these excuses you get, we hear this every week.
Canada won't let me in anymore. Okay, that's what's happening.
Oh yeah, we're at war. Forgot about that.
That's right. Yeah, we're supposed to hate each other.
Fuck you guys. I saw Thunderbolts the other day, and actually, surprisingly, it wasn't terrible.
What?
Oh boy.
Yeah, I was like, this is going to be fucking awful. And then because like the trailers were terrible, but it's kind of different because like MCU films are like mostly crap. They're mostly just like quips and one-liners and big CGI set pieces at the end. and this is some of that, but it's really all about depression and like overcoming it and things like that. And it's something that hasn't been done before in an MCU film. And I was like, all right, kudos, you're actually doing something different here. There's some good practical action scenes. I don't give a fuck if it's in like the comics. I don't read comics. I'm just judging it as an action guy. But like I did say in my review, and I mentioned to you guys before, I was like, weren't the Thunderbolts created by Thunderbolt Ross? Thus the name. Was that, or did I make that up?
Thunderbolts is like after 2000, so it's not a real comic to me. But
No, Thunderbolts
maybe
is
Sean knows.
90s, but it was
That's not, but that's not this Thunderbolts, Sean.
Oh,
Not
okay,
this
yeah.
one, but the
Yeah,
comics,
yeah.
the Thunderbolts were villains,
Villains,
as
yeah.
good guys.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah.
And
Yeah,
it was a
Suicide
big
Squad kind of
reveal
thing.
at the end of the first issue. They didn't advertise it that it's like Citizen V is Baron Zemo and all
Right.
that.
Citizen V is Zemo, and you start
Yeah.
seeing like Mockingbird and all these other characters are
Yeah.
their alter egos. But then they carried it on to where you got the Thunderbolts to where being good guys under Ross, and then now they were under some other I forget what her name is. They've mentioned her in the movies now.
Yeah,
No one
I can't
cares.
remember her name.
Yeah, I can't remember.
It's
her name.
Suicide Squad from Marvel, basically.
Yeah,
It really
basically,
is.
yeah.
I knew that's what they were gonna do.
Yeah.
Is Suicide Squad. I was just saying it's not my Thunderbolts, but I'll watch it. But
Yeah.
not
Yeah, I just enjoyed it as just like an action movie, and it had some cool moments in it. But I mean, I've already forgotten most of, like most Marvel movies I watch. I'm like, yeah, that was fine. Where am I?
The thing is, it
Yeah.
wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't like, I mean, first Avenger, the first few Captain Americas and stuff, like they're like legitimately
Yeah,
good
those are
films.
genuinely good movies. Like Phase 1 was great, and then I
Yeah.
loved Infinity War, and then Endgame was okay. Everyone's like, oh my god,
It's
Endgame's
okay.
amazing. And I was like, I hate
It's
Professor Hulk and I hate Fat Thor. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
that's
I agree.
Annoying.
I hate Fat Thor.
I hate
yeah.
Hulk.
I
I hate
shit like
Hulk
that.
in that too. I
Yeah.
hate Valkyrie. She's the worst character in the universe.
I also just hate how they like in this movie, like, you know, the Avengers are gone. I'm like, I'm pretty sure Thor and Hulk are fine. Like, where are they? Like, there's like no mention of them.
Yeah, I heard about the
Yeah.
ending of the movie. But
Yeah. The second post credit scene is cool. I will give them that.
Really?
Yeah, it was okay. But
I
like,
heard about
that's
it. Yeah.
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 But like, how do you beat again? They're fighting the Sentry. This is the same shit as Suicide Squad. They're fighting the Enchantress. Okay, well, how is the Suicide Squad going to fight the Enchantress?
You know how they defeat them.
Oh,
You can
really?
picture the scene in your head right now.
All right, fine.
Sappy bullshit.
Yeah,
Anyway,
yeah.
I'll watch it
I kind of
tomorrow.
like that though.
Yeah, but the Sentry, like, it's both. He's I don't know. Do people know who the Sentry? Okay, I won't say who the Sentry
I didn't
is,
know who it was before. I'd never heard of him. I didn't even know it was a comic book character. until
I have the whole run of the first Sentry thing,
Yeah.
and like it was pretty cool. And then this movie kind of feels like it's bastardizing it a little bit. But in any case, I don't care about any of these characters. So if they're all ruined, it doesn't matter to me anyways. It's not like Black Panther 2 where they ruined Namor, who's one of my favorites. I don't care if these characters are ruined or not. I'll just watch it.
That's
if there's
fair.
some fights.
I could see that. They're not going to fuck up my.
Yeah, there's some
fucking
good fight scenes. The opening scene is Florence Pugh jumping off a building, and she actually jumped off the building in real life, which I thought was really cool. And also, she's like, I'm kind of in love with her. But anyway, call me Florence. Anyway,
Yeah, and she wore like the smallest dress thing ever at that premiere where it's like
Well, she wore the see-through one before that. So
yeah, isn't it for kids to watch these movies? But anywho, I'm okay with it myself.
yeah. The Amateur is good. I really enjoyed The Amateurs. It's a little slow to get going, but I liked what they do as a character. I like how it's a character who uses his intelligence rather than, uses his brains rather than his brawn to solve things. So he wants to get revenge on the people who killed his wife. So he's trying to find ways of doing it. So it's kind of like the Mechanic with brains kind of thing, but I fucking love the Mechanic. So
I wouldn't mind seeing I'll wait for my library to get it.
yeah. The Amateur is cool. I quite enjoy it. But yeah, what else was I going to say? What else? I went to
It's
see
a prequel to The Professional. No. First he's the amateur, then he's the professional.
I saw Until Dawn last night, that horror movie, and I have never seen more people explode in one movie in my entire life. Like it's like a total splatter fest, and like it was like a couple of like jumpy bits where it was kind of gory, but we were just like pissing ourselves laughing though. The whole audience was just like totally enjoying it, and it was good to see like a proper old school horror movie again. So it was good times. I enjoyed it.
I'll see that.
Were the explosions like on Day Shift when we watched that one, when all of a sudden the vampires just start blowing up in that movie?
Kind of, yeah. So, yeah, exactly. Yeah, that scene is totally lifted from Mechanic Resurrection. It's exactly the same scene. Now, when I saw the trailer first, and I was like, they just lifted that from Mechanic Resurrection. Is it? Let's see. I'm cautiously optimistic about Superman.
Prob-
Over
probably-
to you, Jay.
I was gonna say, do you really want this? What time is it?
No, Daniel, no.
No,
Daniel,
Run away.
You don't want this
Run
one.
away.
You don't want run away. Holy Grail, run away, run away.
Run away.
Run, Billy, run.
No, Billy.
Yeah, it's the fake Superman. So if we're excited for the fake Superman, that's cool. But if you want the real Superman, it's not. I like how the robots they're dragging. First of all, Crypto can fly, so why is he beating the shit? And dogs can tell if you're hurt. So why is the dog beating the crap out of Superman? And the dog is smart. It's Crypto. So Crypto should be like, holy shit, my master's hurt. Grab him, fly to the fortress, not beat the crap out of him and then drag him. So that's dumb. And then the robot's like, we have no emotions. Oh, he looked at me. He. I thought you don't have emotions.
Yeah, literally the next line, she shows emotion. You're like,
she shows emotion. It's just James Gunn buffoonery. And then the S is garbage. I don't care what people are pretending that the S, well, it was kind of in this one comic. Sure, name the comic, which I own all the comics that have that S in it, and it doesn't even look. It doesn't even look
garbage.
It looks garbage. It's not even that, anyways. So it looks crap.
I'm wearing the real S to the movie.
I'm wearing the real S to the movie as well. And I'm gonna wear every Superman thing I have to the movie just to be a complete. It's this tattoo.
I'm gonna pick one of my shirts and real Superman.
I'm just gonna dress up as.
You see what you did?
I'm just going to dress up as Supergirl to the movie instead.
That would be fine. Yeah, look, it's James Gunn's. I literally saw someone saying, one of the actors is like, "Oh, this is like the classic Superman movie, but with a James Gunn twist." Right? The twist is what we don't want.
Yeah,
like we don't want your twist.
I don't like James Gunn's movie. I like the first Guardians of the Galaxy, and that's about it.
Yeah, and you know what the problem is that I'm starting to hate that movie because everyone is copying that.
Yeah.
It's the Marvel movies should all have quips and funny lines and little things. It's like, why? Like First Avenger, which is my favorite, my second favorite is Winter Soldier. Those two movies, there's nothing stupid. There's nothing stupid going on in those movies. They're real movies. I apologize, Charlie.
It's too late, Daniel.
It's too late. Firstly, Daniel, I do not accept your apology. So I don't accept apologies. You should not have started it.
He's not apologizing to you. He's apologizing to me. So
well, I don't accept it on your behalf.
On my behalf. I appreciate that, David.
Anyways,
back to Van Damme and In Hell. Anybody else have any more comments on In Hell?
Hey, I gave a lot of great. I did give a lot of great points tonight. I'm very happy with it.
Yeah.
I think it was an excellent talk about this. Not what I expect out of a Van Damme movie.
This was because I didn't know that this movie was better than I thought it was good. That I remember it being. I think I was like John. I was like, what is this? Like, this isn't Van Damme beating the shit out of people. It's like he's getting beat up. Why is this guy beating up Van Damme? What is this shit movie? This is crap.
He gets beat up a lot in this movie.
And just pissed on him and shit. I'm like, what is this crap?
Yeah, and that's the thing, which it takes a couple of viewings to sort of get over that, and you're like, I don't want to see my hero going through so much awfulness. He's got to overcome, and he eventually does at the end. But by then, you're sort of like.
I was very happy though. I actually was happy. I know it's a sad movie and a lot of bad things happen, but I think ultimately it was inspiring a bit.
No, it was a good movie. I did notice though in a lot of the fights you can almost see like Van Damme pulling himself back, like he's almost like cocking a leg or an arm, but he's like, "Oh yeah, I can't do that," and then he would just go and almost like tackle someone instead of actually throwing a kick. There's just these little hints, because I was like, okay,
instinct.
He's gonna get strong, which I guess that, and I'm like, that's fine. Work out in prison. What else are you gonna do? But I was like, how are they gonna make him know martial arts? Because they haven't said anything about that yet. But they don't weigh on that. Well, I was like, okay, I like that you kind of remove that from just his backstory, I guess. And it works a little bit better. And it is a lot more wrestling and MMA-ish like John was talking about.
That's actually, sorry, just for a moment.
No, go ahead.
I think that's actually one of the special features we talk about, where Van Damme learns more sort of MMA kind of moves and did some different stuff. Because normally, the spin gets the same kind of stuff we're used to seeing him do in the movies, but he actually did some different stuff in this, where it was more grappling and things like that, rather than the flashy fights. Because
he snipes that dude's arm too. It's fucking awesome.
But in a movie like this, like the Undisputed type fight scenes wouldn't work. It would just feel like cartoonish, and you're like, that's not how real fights are. Like on the street, it's more like what it is then, where you're rolling around in the ground, and biting people's
It was-
throats and shit like that.
What really kind of caught me off guard was, we watch our movies and we see it, you remember Death Warrant, stuff like that. The fights are underground. There's, guys are surrounding them everywhere. This is like a party. Like they're having fun. They're playing music.
Right.
They're dancing. Everyone, it's like a celebration. And then they have the fight. Then everything's out. They have the barker, the person getting the crowd hyped up for the fight. And then the fight happens. I was like, this is totally like different. Not what I was expecting it to be, like hidden. Like no one knows, like, underground, like Lionheart when they're in the, parking garage and shit like that.
Mhm.
This is out in the open, right in the, the yard, and they're all drinking and having fun up top. All the other guys this is what we do every third Tuesday of the month, I guess. I don't know. It kind of felt like they do this quite a bit when someone has beef.
Yeah, and they generate the beef, and that's the whole point. That's why the guy wants those factions separated. He wants there to be, little like aggravated, aggression or whatever.
Cliques. You had like the Russian mob guys. You
Yeah.
had everyone else that's trying to vie for their spot in there. And I liked I forget his actual name. I always call him Grim because he was in Death Race. But the tattooed up guy, he makes a really good villain. And I liked his character.
Robert Lazardo.
Lazardo. I really liked him.
Always plays a gang member or something.
It's cliche, but I think every one of those tattoos are real. So he probably just looks.
He's
like
got
that
more
all
now. He's like, it's like up here. It's like he's covered completely.
Oh, he's one of those, like, I loved him in Death Race where he's like, you can't kill me, baby. I'm the Reaper. And then pow, that car fucking crushes him. The fights aren't. Yeah.
We're going to do Maximum Risk soon. Remind me about that, because it's one of those movies that you sort of forget about because you think in Bloodsport, whatever, all the main ones, and then Maximum Risk gets sort of in the ether. But it's actually a really good one too, so I'm looking forward to talking about that.
What's the one where he helps the wife and kid?
Nowhere to Run. I saw that was my first first Van Damme in the theater.
That's a good movie that
That's a
nobody
great
talks
movie.
about. Yeah. I like
What's
that
broken,
one.
your arm or your leg? Your face.
Your face. Yeah. But it also has, who the hell are you? I'm the parking attendant, and you're bothering my customers.
Great one.
I like that with Rosanna Arquette. That was the first one I got to see in the damn theater. I was so excited.
First
to see
one
it.
in the theater for me was Universal Soldier.
Yeah.
But because I remember it was just before that. It was like a year before when my cousin introduced me to all the Van Damme movies. And he had a pile of VHS tapes, and I was there for like a week or two. And we watched Bloodsport, Death Warrant, Kickboxer, and Double Impact in the space of like a few days. And I'd never seen them before. And like, Van Damme fan was born for life.
Yeah, right.
I mean, you can't. That's impossible. You can't even physically do that. Like only Chuck Norris could get through that. It's like your head would explode. You can only take so much Van Damme per time. Like it's like 20. And if you've seen them before, then no problem. But if you first watched them, like I don't even know. Like, what would you say at the end of that? Which was your favorite? I don't know. All of them? Like,
they were all amazing. Yeah. I mean, I have always loved Death Warrant, though. Like, if I were to do a versus between Death Warrant and In Hell, I would choose Death Warrant because it's got that rewatchability factor to it. And it's more classic Van Damme. It's more fun. There's no Billy type stuff going on. It's just, fighting, and, it's.
Excellent villain, too, with the Sandman.
Yeah, Sandman is great. Patrick is always a great villain.
Like, what a fake name.
Yeah.
It's like he murders his own name. It's like, I murder my own name. I'm Patrick. Kill Patrick. Like,
it's got the best. Death Warrant has the best slow motion climactic Van Damme kick in the movie.
I also like and then he just gets hit with the wrench in the face.
I know, that was so anticlimactic. I was like, wow,
like, shut up.
That was for nothing.
Yeah,
that's
I think
Hard
Target's my favorite Van Damme movie. Yeah,
everyone's favorite.
I think that's universal. That's the best Van Damme movie.
It's got everything and the kitchen sink. I mean,
right. And like Owen said, it's like the one that's closest to him being like the invincible hero. Like he only kind of gets hurt, but not incapacitated. Like
he does get beat up without a license.
He gets hit by glass. That's what happens.
Yeah, those guys are pieces of garbage, and they're rotting in hell right now. So that's.
Have you ever seen that comedian? Someone said, but there's a comedian who actually talks about that scene in Hard Target, and I was like, God bless him just for bringing attention to Hard Target.
Oh, the cocking the leg.
And he's talking about the guys who beat him up, and saying, "Tell your girlfriend to put her titties north, step on the gas." And you're like, has anybody ever said that in real life? And I was like, no, but I'm going to.
Yep. That needs to be on a shirt. That's exactly what we
No, dude, when he moved the coat, you thought there was gonna be like a shotgun or something, and it's just his leg. It's like, that is the weapon.
That's
It's
the
like-
weapon.
Yeah,
He has unsheathed it, and then he will cock it and pow.
that's his Excalibur right there.
That's
Yeah,
exactly what.
like everything that happened in Hard Target, I had the mullet, the earring, the very next second you could grow a mullet, I had it. I had the earring immediately. I'm like, okay, gotta get the earring. Had the
Gotta have
loop,
a
like,
duster. Gotta have.
I had the full outfit, the the jean shirt and the bands. It's like that movie changed my life. It's like I will walk around. I couldn't get the exact boots, but I got as close as I could. It's like.
He's holding a gun upside down, for God's sake, shooting.
Yeah.
Oh my God, John, that is one of the greatest things of all time.
Because
That was just
Speakman did it in Street Night. He copied that in Street Night.
Yeah.
I was like, you stole that from Von Damme. Speakman's my god. I mean, but he did steal that from Von Damme. I was like, that did happen.
But also, like, anytime you have some gumbo in a restaurant, oh, how's the gumbo? A tragedy. You have to, if you say anything else.
I used that one on you already.
I play that one on you before.
Yeah, I played that one on you.
Yeah, for the gumbo. It's like that's right.
That scene where he beats up the guys, where they're trying to like mug her, is one of my just top Van Damme fight scenes. It's the most satisfying scene because it's just muggers getting exactly what they deserve. And like when it smashes the guy's head into the metal bar, breaks the guy's arm the wrong way. I'm just like,
so he kicks that guy off the hood, like sweeps his leg.
Oh, that's so badass.
Oh God,
yeah, I love that.
That's a great scene.
And I was like, oh, it's a tough one, but the answer is always Van Damme. He's
Of course, Daniel,
every question.
That's not a real question.
I think it's a real question. I will agree with
First
Van
he
Damme.
pisses J-Man off, and now he's asking that
Oh
question.
my God.
The Henry Cavill arm cocking his arms is goddamn fucking amazing. Okay, I don't care.
Nobody says it's not, but it's Van
Yeah,
Damme.
it's always Van Damme. Always default to that.
Speaking of which, just speaking of Henry Cavill, so there have I mentioned the rumor about him about being Bond? Yeah.
We
I don't know,
know
but
that's always
We all know that it's been, but I don't know. Personally, I think we should give him 3 movies, and there you go, and then that shuts everybody up because he's like the fan favorite. So
how many projects are they putting him in? Didn't I just read something about Voltron was going on?
He's gonna do Voltron. Highlander.
Prime picked up Highlander. They were talking about a Warhammer thing.
Warhammer.
He was 100% the biggest Warhammer fan ever.
He's a Warhammer, but no, he like really is a war. Like I watched him on interviews. I was like, whoa, he really knows. Yeah.
I watched his walkthrough of his army. They did a interview with him in his house, and he's going through everything. But and then Bond now, it's Jesus Christ, man, this guy works.
There's so many of these things get announced and it never happen. I'm pretty sure Warhammer is probably not going to happen. Like
they did the TV show, I think, or something like that.
How could they do a budget for that movie?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's 40K. It's not even.
But the problem
Warhammer,
is, but also the problem is that Henry Cavill hasn't proven to be a box office draw outside of Superman. So there's that.
Yeah.
So, but what I'd heard, I thought I told you this before, but if not, this is a rumor. It was on another YouTube channel. I can't remember which one it was, but they said that they're planning on remaking The Man with the Golden Gun with Henry Cavill, but with Antonio Banderas as Scaramanga. And I was like, okay, I don't hate that idea, but why remake one of my favorite? Just do a new one and just make Antonio Banderas a Bond villain. I'd love to see him as a Bond villain.
Yeah,
I agree.
But not Scaramanga. Christopher Lee is Scaramanga at the end.
Why do we have
they were remaking the post Ian Fleming books a great deal. Like it's not like they were making stuff out of like nothing, right? So they can do that. There's several books.
Carte Blanche they could do, or any of those other ones. Do one of the books that hasn't been adapted. That's not Ian Fleming. I mean, you could do that, but maybe you got to get the rights and all that.
I don't know.
So
Amazon is on thin ice with this one. No one thinks they're going to do a good job.
Nobody has high hopes because sort of like, well, look what they did with like Rings of Power.
Yeah, look out for the Money Penny series, the Q
spin-offs.
Bring back Jinx. Halle Berry will play an older Jinx or something.
Yeah. Although I would have a problem.
I
would have a problem if we were about Pierce Brosnan one last time and did like an older Bond with him. That would be kind of cool.
Well, just like Sean Connery did. Sean Connery came back and revisited one more time. Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Well, Reacher is Amazon, isn't it? I like
Reacher's
good. Yeah, I really like that.
There's exceptions,
but they're talking about a spin-off on that and following.
Negan.
I'll watch it.
I'll watch it too.
I'm not interested. I'm like, she's a supporting character. Just leave her as a supporting character. Not every character needs a fucking series or whatever else. Reacher's the main character. She's the sidekick at the end.
Yeah.
So my thought process is, yes, I agree with that, but I like the character. So if I like the character, why wouldn't I give it a shot?
Yeah,
maybe
it's
it'd
a
be
good
really
character.
good.
Yeah.
Like when it's the Frasier rule. It's like Cheers went off air, and they're like, "Oh, Frasier." I was like, "Frasier, he's getting a show." Like, okay, really okay. And then I kind of like Frasier.
I love Frasier. It's a comfort show for me.
I don't know. I like it better than Cheers.
It makes me feel smart when I watch it for some reason.
So I don't know. Like, I'm just saying, like, you never know, right? Like,
right? No, it's fair.
Well,
Yeah. We'll see. But yeah, I mean, I'll have to see a trailer first. But but that's what we do these days. That we cancel something before it's even heard of. I don't like this at all. Fuck this person and everyone involved with it.
Are we the problem?
No. We're not, because again, I'm going by what last happened, right? So it's like, I like Hellraiser 3, so we're gonna watch Hellraiser 4. I liked Hellraiser 4. I'll watch Hellraiser 5. I thought Hellraiser 5 was okay. Like, if I liked it, I like Neely.
Hellraiser.
So, I like all the Hellraiser movies too, but I like Neely, so I will watch her show. If the season sucks, then I'm done with it. That's it.
Yeah.
There you go.
And you
That's
just know
easy.
You just knew he's going to do a cameo in it.
He's going to do a cameo.
Yeah, if he's not in it, though, it's him who's the interesting thing in it, because like he's the badass. So it's like
he'll be her backup. She's like he comes in, like he'll come in. Yeah.
Well, it's what they're doing with the ballerina. Now that they've announced that John Wick's going to be in it, so it's like okay, now that's going to get more people to go now. Like, I'm sure a lot of people were like, "Oh, it's in the universe, but is it really John Wick?"
Yeah,
like, "Oh, John
that's
Wick's
me
in it." Yeah, but now he's in it, so.
Yeah,
he's
a lot of
interesting
characters in that universe. You just don't need Keanu Reeves anymore. That's the thing. It's become.
But to me, like, he's the guy we're following. I like where we're revealing the world through John Wick. That's the point of it. Well, we'll see.
Remember my idea.
Didn't Amazon make a series based on
the Continental? Remember, I've had this discussion before. This was my idea, and they fucked it up. My idea was you do, and I said this to the directors. As I said, what you guys should do? A spin-off of the Continental where, occasionally John Wick might show up. However, it focuses on what the other hitmen are doing, and you have like an episode focusing on each hitman or whatever, and it's all their stories or whatever. And I thought that'd be kind of cool. Then special guest star Ken Reeves as John Wick or whatever. And then Chad Stahelski was like, "Oh, I like where your head's at, man. I haven't thought of that, and I'm going to completely ignore that suggestion to make a shit show instead." And that's what I think.
I had zero interest in that. It's like these things, they don't know what the property is. And Real Popcorn Geek is saying, he doesn't. Neely's not a big character in the books. That's true, but I've only read like 2 of the books, but it's the 2 that the show's been on based on. So, and that happens to be the first one where she's in it, and the book that was the second season, which it's about his old team, so she has to be in it. So I've only read the books that she's in it, but she was a cool character. I really liked her a lot, and
she's cool in the show. Yeah,
because she stood up with Reacher. He's like, "Oh, sorry to get you involved in this." And she's like, "I was involved the moment you were involved." I was like, "Yes."
Yeah. That's an ally right there.
Right.
Yeah. They will stand.
That's what's missing.
There'll be 50,000 guys in front of you, and that person will be standing right next to you.
I like that.
Let's do this.
And that's how she portrayed it. It worked.
Yeah, that's what you need.
Sold it. It was really good.
Yeah.
When I was watching Until Dawn last night, and it's all about them, oh no, we have to stay for our friends, whatever. Just an FYI, I am not that person. Like, if I'm in a horror movie, I'm fucking leaving you behind, and I'm running the other way, and I'm like, screw you guys, I'm going
We gotta stay together. Don't split up.
What happened to Owen? Owen's on a plane.
He's Mexico now.
I'm joining. Look, the moment the aliens show up, I'm joining them.
Same. I fun welcome our new alien overlord.
Especially if it's like Diana in V. I'm definitely.
I was just gonna say, like, what's his name, Danny?
Jane Badler. We're definitely joining the visitors.
Yeah, we'll join them.
Yeah, it depends what they look like. Yeah, I'm a very visual person.
They're lizards. All right.
Yeah.
Do I have to
be
do the same thing you guys do? I don't.
Big rat,
just as
do I have to eat the rat? I don't want to eat the rat.
Put some mustard on it.
I remember.
Yeah.
I'll cook it. I'll cook it and eat it.
That was shocking, though, Owen. Actually, in that time period, as if you're a kid, you're like, "Holy shit!"
I remember that's the moment.
Back then,
yeah.
Dude,
next day at school, everyone's watching it, and the baby,
Oh, the baby freaked us.
Oh yeah,
Dude, that thing was. But my parents would watch this, and Dad watched the first couple, and then I got to see a few. The rat one came on, and my mom was like, "Nope, I'm out." She left the room if we wanted to watch V. Never again did she watch that show.
Oh my
It's
God.
not, you watch it now, man. It's nothing. I've seen
It's
that a
so
bunch of
tame.
times. It's
so
nothing,
tame.
right? Like Walking Dead is horrific. Like,
Yes.
it's like there's way worse stuff. But that eating that rat, man, we're like, oh shit, what the hell? It's like-
On prime time. It was on prime time, fellas.
Prime time,
Yeah.
man.
It was a whole different era then.
It was totally
That's
different.
funny.
Yep.
So, anybody got anything cool coming up before we wrap it up?
What are we doing? We're doing He-Man is on Sunday, right?
We're doing part
Charlie
two.
and
Part two.
part
of
two
the
He-Man, going through all the toys. Sean and I are doing Iron Fist on Friday, talking about the Iron Fist comics, and they're very good. So there you go.
Yeah, we're doing The Rock comes out next Tuesday on the podcast. May is called What May. We're just picking random shit and covering it.
Good
That's
name.
what we're doing. Yeah, it works for me.
I like that better than May the 4th be with you. So
There you go.
I last night I interviewed Natalia Reyes, who was the lead in Terminator Dark Fate, but we won't hold that against her. She was Danny in it, so I got to interview her for 4 minutes.
Wow.
It's a playtime.
What did you ask?
You for four.
Oh my God, you get the emails now where they're like, "Can you please stick to the movie?" I'm like, Jesus Christ! I'm like, what do you?
No, because I always stick to the movie, because that's what you're supposed to do.
I'm the guy that's asking about Simon West. I was like, so Expendables 2. I was like,
No, you see, you always make it about the movie. Otherwise, they'll not ask you again to do things. So what I did is I'll mention it, and then he'll go in and bring it in. But yeah, but so she was cool anyway. So I was talking about her new movie, Shadow Force, which I watched at the weekend. It's actually not bad. A little slow the first half, but the second half has a speedboat chase. And I was like, finally, a fucking speedboat chase. I haven't seen that since Face Off. So that was cool. Some decent shirts and whatever. So yeah, I spoke to her for a few minutes last night. She was very nice. I'll be posting that probably next week. And that is about it. So next week is the big one. I can't believe we haven't discussed this movie before.
oh my god.
Sylvester Stallone, Cobra. So I cannot wait.
hell yeah.
So for those of you who haven't seen it, I'll put right.
Yeah.
I don't shop here.
If you haven't seen it, don't bother showing your stupid retarded
we're
face
not
on the next one.
And if you don't like the movie, also don't show up because we will
Yeah,
just
don't show
humiliate
up.
you publicly. Yeah. In fact, this is just for you.
Fuck you.
That's it.
Yeah, see, Owen's too polite to verbally destroy you if you don't like Cobra, but I will.
Oh no,
take on
I'm not polite. Bitch, what are you talking about?
You're a little you will be a bit nicer than I will be.
Oh no, I would admit, yeah. Hold on, there's
Coming to 4K. We're not going to discuss that 4K nonsense that I'm pissed off at.
What did you mention? That was that before the stream or during?
That was in private conversation. I can mention it. I don't care.
You just mention it now, then and then we'll
Sure.
finish.
So a few weeks ago, one's like, oh, we try to plan ahead a bit. And one's like, oh, we'll watch Cobra. I was like, oh, perfect. And I didn't have the Blu-ray, and I forgot that I had wanted to get the collector's edition Shout Factory Blu-ray, and it was in my Amazon cart. My Amazon cart is ridiculously long, right? So I was like, oh yeah, shit. I was like, oh, there it is. I was like, I'm ordering it. So I ordered it. Like the moment I got it in my hand, I just got Cobra, it's collector's edition. 4K announced.
Yep.
Like, and I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm not doing it because it was like a $30 Blu-ray. It has a lot of good stuff on it though. So it's probably ported over. They probably ported all the features over.
Yeah,
that has nothing on there.
Both by Shout Factory. So go fucking figure.
I understand these guys. They're normally very good. That Time Cop's actually very disappointing. Really.
Yeah, it's a total waste of money. And well, like I said, I didn't pay for it because I had the gift card. So I was like, well, that's fine. And it's Van Damme on 4K, so I got to have it. But you would expect something.
Anything. Yeah.
Like I said, even archival interviews or whatever would have been fine. But I don't know. Like why even bother? Yeah.
You tell me they never did like a making of behind the scenes HBO special or some bullshit.
Yes, it did, because I think I have it on the UK Blu-ray. I have which is region free.
Thrown it on there, but it's likely they got a shared licensing, And so they wanted to get the market first. Watch, I guarantee in about 3 months, Arrow will release.
Oh yeah, there'll be a proper one. Yeah,
bulk one. And Shout was just trying to get that market for all the guys that are like, I gotta get a 4K. And oh fuck. No special.
Yeah, the features are owned by like Criterion's weird. Like they own their features and stuff. Like you can't if you have a movie that's on Criterion and then it's coming out on 4K, keep both versions because Criterion has a lock on their features where it's exclusive just to them.
Yeah.
Criterion are the best though. Like I love.
I know it's crazy.
The Criterion. I watched Ben Affleck in the Criterion closet the other day. Like,
I saw that.
And he's talking about his like commentary for Armageddon is the best thing he's ever done.
If you want to hear me bitch about a movie, then we can do Armageddon because I just cannot stand that. I might actually. Well, I won't skip a stream, but I'd consider skipping that one. I hate that movie.
Yeah. All right, I think that's it then. So yeah, so we will see you for Cobra next week. I'm looking forward to that. And then the week after is Beekeeper versus a Working Man. There is a poll on the channel, so in the community section, so you can go in and vote for Beekeeper or Working Man once you've watched them both. And that is it. So thank you all for watching. And remember, if you are watching, you are the Action Elite.